Okay, so let's begin this debate competition. So, hello everyone. Good evening to one and all. Welcome to Entab Presents Debates Competition, where we have some great young minds, the students from different parts of India, to share their thoughts, views, and opinions on the topic. So, before moving forward, let me introduce you to Entab. Entab is a 21-year-old IT company engaged in providing mature and futuristic ERP solutions, CRM, and mobile apps to the schools spread across India and thereby helping them to become from good schools to the best ones. So before starting with, I would just make you all walk through the rules of this debate competition, and the rules are as follow. Every contestant will get 2 minutes to speak on the topic. The speech must not exceed 3 minutes. Rule number two, after the participant finishes their speech, the floor will be open for interjection. All right. Rule number three, an interjector is allowed only one question per contestant. Cross questioning is not allowed. Rule number four, speaking out of turn or any misbehavior can lead to immediate disqualification. Okay, so guys, these are the rules of this debate competition. Okay, so after the turn of every participant, the floor would be open for interjection. So the student who wants to interject, please raise his or hand physically like this. And when I'll call out your name, then you can start with the interjection thing. Okay. And now, moving on, it's time to introduce you all to our lovely jury members. So, please welcome Mr. Deepak Purohit, Principal Sir of the Ummed International School, Abu Road, Rajasthan. So, Deepak sir, do we have you here?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And our next jury member is Mr. Balraj Singha, Principal, Godwins School, Guwahati. So, welcome, Balraj sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So, moving on. So, moving on to our first category is for the motion category on the topic is space exploration a waste of resources. And the first participant we have with us is Priyanshu. Yes, Priyanshu, please go ahead. The stage is all yours.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Science is important, but not most important. Good afternoon to one and all present here. I am speaker F1, and today we are talking about is space exploration a waste of resources? And I say yes. Let me tell you why. If we compare the expenditure of money and time spent on a particular mission to the achievement, then the achievement achieved is very little. Before investing million and billion dollars on space exploration, that is major problem like global warming and etc. should be addressed first. Also, there are no direct benefits to the people. So why we are investing million and billion dollars in outer space, though we are facing lots of problem down here on the earth. I know we are improving day by day in this technology field, but we can use this technology to develop our home planet Earth. At the same point of time, we have NASA here spending $20 billion every year in this space exploitation. Not only NASA, but big entrepreneurs like Elon Musk spending more in his company known as SpaceX and less in his companies like Tesla and PayPal. Obviously, first, these companies should be improved because several places in the world accidents are taking place, and here Tesla should be upgraded. Not only this, according to Wikipedia, in space exploration, rocket burns 400 metric ton of kerosene and emits CO2, then an average vehicle emits CO2 in 2 centuries. Also, while testing rocket engine on Earth, it causes a lot of air pollution by emitting harmful gases. I would like to give one more example that there are more than 250 plus crashes of satellite in the space, which is creating the pollution over there also. So I would like to conclude my point over here only. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Priyanshu. Thank you so much. Now I would love to open the floor for interjection. So who wants to interject? Okay, we can go with Chandan.
Thank you for the recognition, ma'am. First of all, I'd just like to tell the speaker that little by little we make much. And my question would be that is there no direct help really to us? We are getting our GPS because of the help of the satellites which are in the space, which is one of the many reasons, one of the many benefits. Apart from GPS, we also have weather. So I don't think that is a very valid or legitimate point to say that we don't have any direct benefit.
Yes, Priyanshu, what
So
do
this
you?
is not a concern. The concern is the budget fixed by any space agency, and that's so it is very high. Since the space agency is active by government, and government place tax and collect tax from us.
Okay, I hope your question is answered, Chandan.
No, ma'am, please to follow up.
Okay, no, only one question is allowed. No worries. Okay, so we'll move on to our next participant. So our next participant is Rishi. So Rishi, can we go with you?
Hello everyone, my name is Rishi Rasdev from St. Xavier School, Jagdishpur. I will be speaking for the motion and say that space exploration is a waste of time, money and resources. First of all, we should be aware of the fact that space exploration is an expensive business as it costs millions of dollars per year to keep exploring it. As per average, 300 million euros are being spent per year in order to explore the space. In fact, we feel that we can use this money for our overcoming problems on Earth like global warming and healthcare, nutrition, and education. These 300 million euros money could be used for creating hundreds of schools for those children who belongs to socially backward classes, and we can provide so thousands of jobs to nurses for our hospitals, and we can also provide food to those children who are still living in starvation. I want to say that there are some countable disadvantages of space exploration. First of them, like it creates huge amount of carbon dioxide, and which leads to pollution. And there are so much problems which are related to it, like global warming, land degradation, and soil degradation. Also ozone layer depletion. This carbon dioxide is directly emitted by the rockets which are sent into the space, and many more disadvantages, like there are small species of animals like birds which are directly affected by the radiations and the electromagnetic waves which are emitted from the satellites and other telecommunication devices. So I want to conclude that why we bother spending all this money on exploring space? We could, instead of we could use the money for our own planet to create better standard of living in which we humans live on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Priyanshu. Now, sorry, Rishi. I'm so sorry. Now, I would like to open the floor for interjection. So, who wants to interject? Anushka, go ahead.
Thank you for the recognition. One of my worthy opponents mentioned that because of those electromagnetic waves and telecommunication waves, birds, their lives, they are actually affected. Now, if we stop using communications, which include mobile phones and all, do you think we are in a condition? We are living a virtual world these days. And do you think that it will be possible for us to stop that use? In addition to this, you mentioned about that carbon dioxide emission and about ozone layer depletion. Now, there's more major cause, which is related to the launches of very nuclear bombs and all. So what do you have to say about that? On one hand, these rockets and all, they can improve diplomatic alliances between countries. And on the other hand, these nuclear power plants and all, these launches, they can hamper those relations. Now, what do you have to say about that? Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Vishal.
First of all, what are you talking about the nuclear bombs? Is that we must ban these kinds of explosive bombs, and we should not never anytime use it, because this creates a mistrust between all the citizens and human kinds also. And you are talking about the pollutions and about the radiations, and you are comparing those reactions with rockets and mobiles. You think that rockets is so much bigger and it will create so much of radiations and electromagnetic waves than mobiles do. So I think rockets are so much harmful for birds, not much that mobile do.
Okay. Thank you, Rishi. Thank you so much. And now we can move to our next participant. So our next participant we have is Apurva Singh.
Yes, thank you so much. Well, this house believes that space exploration is a waste of resources, and I stand for the motion. Well, let's consider the situation in hand. How ironic is it to think that at this point of time there are water disputes happening all over the world, and still we believe in going and exploring water on the moon? And how ironic is it that people are literally starving on our planet, but still we want to colonize the Mars? Now, let's consider the situation in hand. What is the first problem that we are facing? And what is the first reason due to which we can say space exploration is a waste of resources? Well, I think space exploration is a waste of resources because there's just so much to Earth at this point of time that needs to be worked on, and space exploration at a whole is not a primary concern. Space exploration has a few things to do in the future, but are we at hand considering the issues that are on Earth? Okay, I think we need to review a few of them. Bridging the 2020 emissions gap and ensuring long-term decarbonization should be one of our concerns. And furthermore, the fact that by 2060, global material use could double to 140 billion tons, while greenhouse gas emission could increase by 45% is another huge concern that I think we need to consider. Also considering the fact, the second reason why I think space exploration is a waste of resources is because I think the major resource on this planet right now is human in itself, and space exploration further leads to a problem that is radiation carcinogenesis. And further, if that happens, that would lead to more tumors in people, that would lead to more problems to people, and I think at all will be a result of, I think, just waste of resource of that as an individual. Furthermore, I also think it is a huge problem because at this point of time, I think all of you are aware about the SpaceX mission by Elon Musk of colonizing the Mars, and all of you are aware of how Jeff Bezos spent legit $5.5 billion for a 4-minute tour to space. I think concerns like this need to be addressed because I think our obsession with space has grown so much that we do not consider at this point of time there's just so much to Earth. There were literally Amazon workers wanting a price hike, but our Jeff Bezos wanted to go to space and have a good 4-minute tour there. So I think there are a lot of issues in hand and we need to consider all of them at a whole and further on implement all of them and make sure that at this point of time we work on our resources in a beneficial way, in a productive way. We use them for the betterment of our planet and not just waste them for some space explorations which are of no primary use at this point of time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Purva. Thank you so much. And now I would like to open the floor for interjection. So who wants to interject? Okay, so I can see Pavitra.
Hello, Apurva. You have mentioned that space exploration is needed for the future, but as for the present condition and the present circumstances, it's not quite necessary. Isn't it a fact that what is the hard work that has been given today is the result of tomorrow? What is your thought about this?
Thank you so much for your question, Pavitra. Well, when I say that we need to concentrate on present and that the fact at this point of time, our Earth has just so much that we need to work on, I literally mean it. I mean, yes, I agree. The space exploration at this point of time is not a necessity. I think we need to understand a difference between a liability or a difference between something that we can work on and something that we need to work on. At this point of time, space exploration is something that we can work on, we are working on, but Earth is something that we need to work on. And for that, we cannot keep Earth at the secondary place and keep the space exploration at the primary place. And I think that is the concern. Space exploration would be great if our Earth has all its problems resolved. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, thank you, Apurva.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. And now we would love to move to our next participant, Sneha from Ganchior. Yes, Sneha, please go ahead.
Good evening, one and all. I'm Sneha from Ganchior Matric High Secondary School. I'm here to speak for the motion that one small step make man great again for making. Sir Rick Roshan states that new transformation as give a new transformation for every. Sorry, ma'am.
No worries, Sneha. Don't get nervous. Take a deep breath and you can start again. No worries.
Risk Broshan stated that every new transformation has deal with the bad days and that the space is hot and worth it. It is really worth it, though our hyper transformation has deal with losing their life and many of have put more resources for the technology and then losing their life for without developing our country. And space in India is the ancient country which have put first to in the Martian orbital, and in 298 days they have came from Mars on 24 September 2014. There are more than 7 million people are in our Earth. If we are crammed together into a one planet, if anything happened to Earth, what will happen? Is the species is both wrapped out? No. For that, the colonization is another system for another body for the solar system that we can back up that humanity to live. We will serve no matter what will happen to Earth. Like that, spacious astronaut has goal to make land on man on 24 September 2024, but October 2020, Elon Musk stated that goal on 2024, but it can't be do because at the he said that it is an uncredible mission. At the Axial Stringer Award, he stated that he is highly confident that he made a cramp first fight with the Moss on 2026. They have said that resources are wasting, but it also useful for us for GPS, weather prediction, forecasting weather, and communication. Even the medical resources are also happening on Mars, which we can't do in the Earth because many of them are surviving in Earth. That's it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sneha. So after Sneha, I would like to open the floor for interjection. So, who wants to interject? I can't see. Just let me see who wants to interject. No one is there, I suppose. Okay, Apurva, I can see you. Okay, you can go ahead.
Thank you so much for the recognition. Well, my question to Sneha would be, she talked about how our country has been very ancient and it has been working on progressing and stuff like that. My question to Sneha would be, at this point of time, do you think the fact that space exploration in itself also gives employment to a lot of people would further lead to, development of employment opportunities on earth itself, which is one of the major concerns and one of the ways in which we can work on the development of the earth? So I would just want Sneha to comment on the fact that, do you think space exploration is developing opportunities, employment opportunities for people on earth itself, which is further leading to the development of people on earth? Please go
No,
ahead.
we will not get that employment opportunity, but we will get more resources. Like if without that without the space exploitation, we can't get anything accurately like that weather prediction. Uh, it is necessary for employment, but we can't get no. It's only for that we need to get that accurate value. It's only based for that scientists and who can train. They want to get opportunities for employment. Not everyone gets.
Okay, thank you so much, Sneha. And after Sneha, we can move to Vanshika.
Hello everyone, I am Vanshika. I am from Noida Educational Academy. I am a student of grade 12 and I am going to speak for the motion. So, space exploration involves too much investment and time. It requires huge amount of money which can be invested for meeting the basic needs of the people. For example, there are some countries in the world which are not even able to fulfill the basic needs of the citizen, like food, clothing, shelter, which forms the primary need for the mankind. So I think it's important to satisfy the primitive needs before spending money on the exploration of the universe. Secondly, spending money in exploring space and finding out there was water on Mars at some point in the last few years. Even we know that we have water on our planet. When these same great minds could also be applied to finding better ways to power humanity in stable desire for energy, to feeding the starving million peoples around the globe, and generally making life down there better, like instead of looking up in the heaven. Now, I would like to conclude that space exploration might be considered as a source of getting knowledge about our planet or just finding a solution to the world challenges. However, I feel unpredictable discoveries may result in troublesome consequences. So, my opinion on our planet Earth still needs deep studying. Therefore, the resources are better to spend on rather on our planet rather on like unattainable space. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Now I would like to open the floor for interjection. So we can move to Rahul. Yes, please go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity. My question is that do we know that we have sufficient amount of resources on Earth to fulfill everyone's need and also to save some for our future generation? My question is that do we have the adequate amount to fulfill the needs which we are having right now and also save some for our future generations? And if we do, please let me explain.
Yes, Vanshika.
Thank you for the question. So yeah, my point is that only that instead of using our resources and finding out the possibilities of water, life on other planet, why should we not use it on our planet and make it better for the future generation? We should preserve our resources and help people, not like sending those like making money and just sending the robots on other planets, which is of no use in like current scenario. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much. Now we can move to our next participant, Sneha Shukla. So,
Thank you.
Yes, please
Thank
go
you,
ahead.
ma'am. This is Sneha Shukla, feeling honored to have an opportunity to speak for the topic, is space exploration a waste of resources? In my view, the exploration of space not only exhausts resources that could be better used elsewhere, but also implies that the welfare of those around us is of less importance than exploring the unknown. I agree that space exploration is a legitimate enterprise, but the needs of humanity should take precedence over its desire. Some of my opponents may say and may give examples of satellites and its importance, but there is a difference. Satellite programs are mostly commercial, giving tangible results which directly or indirectly help us. But that is not with the case of the missions that are sent to the Mars or to the other planets or landing on some asteroids or lunar missions. We need to look after our planet and combat the multitude of problems. To put things in perspective, even today, 689 million people of the world are in extreme poverty. 2 billion people still do not get basic sanitation facilities. 70 million children do not get proper education. We saw and we are seeing medical infrastructure buckling in the COVID times. Many people even lost their lives just because of the absence of proper medical care. While on the other hand, as per the company Space in Africa, over the last 3 years, government spent a combined total of USD 216.27 billion on space activities. Space exploration isn't exactly cheap, and also most of the benefits of these space missions are largely intangible and of no use to the common public. I mean, what a common man finding it difficult to make ends meet going to do with the pictures being clicked by Rosetta spacecraft, which costed around 1.4 billion euro? Of what benefit a poor kid living in Africa from $100 billion, both international space station? Apart from this, space exploration is not a sure shot investment of time and resources, and the chances of failures are very high. Many space missions also do not yield much results. As per the NASA fact sheet, 40% of the lunar missions in the past 60 years failed. World hunger, poverty, and lack of infrastructure should be alternative receivers of this investment. Now, my worthy opponents may say that mankind must strive to expand its horizon, but an ugly reality is that our world is met by war, famine, and poverty. Billions of people are struggling simply to live from day to day. Our dreams of exploring space are a luxury they cannot afford. Also, is it ironic that we are obsessed about finding life out there while we have not taken good care of our own planet? We are seeing in front of our eyes disappearance of the rainforest, pollution of the oceans, and increased desertification. The problem is not about the money only, but about the manpower also. A lot of minds are involved in these space jobs. Instead, we should divert these brilliant minds to the area from where the common public can get benefited. For example, instead of investing in space exploration, why not to invest in research on weather management? We know how to see clouds. We know how to make them rain. I think we should devote massive resources to the developing of that type of technology. Lastly, as far as the quest for the exploration is concerned, why are we only obsessed with the space when we have not fully explored our planet Earth? Here are still deserts, caves, rainforests, and oceans to be explored. The cost of pushing the boundaries in space are too high as compared to exploring our oceans. Who knows, maybe the truth or the cosmos is buried deep beneath the oceans. Finally, I want to say that instead of space, the earth should be our first priority. Instead of wasting our time, resources, and money on make or prestige projects such as the space program, we must set ourselves new targets. Once we have addressed all the problems on the earth, we will be having a lot of time to explore the universe, but not before then. Thank you.
Thank you, Sneha. Thank you so much. And then I would like to open the floor for interjection. So, who wants to interject? Okay, so we can go with Anushka.
Thank you for the recognition. One of my worthy opponents mentioned about the eradication of poverty and illiteracy, all these global issues. I would like to ask a question that what does it mean by making the eradication of these global issues the primary concern? Is it by the money which we spend in space program to be transferred to these um, to the to these countries which face these problems severely, to countries which are very low economy? I want to know the answer. Is it a concrete solution, or rather we should be focusing on the impartation of skills? If we focus on space exploration is not only about building rockets and sending them to space and exploring all these things. It's even about how we build. When we build something, we need repair, we need maintenance, and this will increase employment only. And we require skills also that will increase the literacy rate. So, what is what the opponent's take about that? I would like to know.
Yes, in my point of view, the money which is the large amount of money which is spent on the space exploration missions, seeing the present scenario, as you all have seen the situation we are facing since last 2 years, the COVID pandemic. There is no use to spend such a large amount of money on space exploration. This amount of money could be, see, our world is not fully developed. There are many countries which are underdeveloped. Even people are not getting enough money to buy the food, for the clothing also. So it's our primary concern that we should first resolve this problems. So many problems which are going on Earth in the present scenario. Universe is endless. We can go to the universe only after then, if all our problems are sorted out on the Earth only. Then we can explore the whole universe. It will never going to end.
Okay, thank you so much, Sneha. Now, yes, who is this?
Anushka, ma'am. Do we have a follow-up provision?
No.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Now we can move to our next participant, Pavitra.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, please go ahead, Pavitra.
Yeah, okay. Namaste, my dear brothers and sisters. This is our Pavitra here. Is space exploration a waste of money? If you ask me, I would say yes. Don't get angry over me thinking that I'm totally against to the development of this world and all. Of course, I'm not. But I would like to share a very few things which made me think so. Each ticket to space reportedly costs $55 million to be in space for just 4 minutes. That is about rupees 401.73 crores per head. Development is definitely needed. I totally agree with that. And it is also true that any developmental goal may be contradictory to each other. Like what is development to me might not be development to you. Likewise, I feel if chances arise, this huge sum of money may be used to develop sound industrial base or infrastructure. I don't want to see space or know about space when I don't have food to fill my belly, water to drink, or a roof over my head, right? Instead of decreasing Earth's resources by space travel and such, we must learn to deal with Earth's problems first. That too, with this lockdown and pandemic and all, we are not sure if we would have dinner as for today. So my question is this: why should we spend this huge sum of money to explore about space where there is no human beings at all, rather than developing the Earth with full of human beings? Also, space travel results in so much of time consumption, air pollution, and it's very costly and dangerous. Also, rocket engines release trace gases in the upper atmosphere that causes ozone depletion along with particles of soot. Many world countries are crying for development. It would be better, if we first develop our Earth first and others next. It is well-known fact to every one of us that resources are very limited. Resources are very scarce. So it must be put into use very, very carefully. As Mahatma Gandhi says, there is enough for everybody's need, but not for anybody's greed. So let us first know more about our Earth and ocean before we waste our time and money in space exploration, is what I would say. Thank you, guys. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Pavitra. Thank you so much. So I would like to open the floor for interjection. So who wants to interject? Okay, Chandan, we can go with you.
Ma'am, we have been, thank you for the recognition. My question would be that we are talking that why are we wasting resources? And the speaker herself mentioned that we should explore our earth. So again, it is a wastage of resources. And ma'am, as the speaker mentioned itself in her speech, that we are short of resources on earth, and that's why, ma'am, we are finding new resources in the space. We are finding new resources which will help us renew our resources on earth. So how would the speaker want to respond to that?
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mr. Chandan. Actually, the thing is that you are saying that the resources can also be brought from the space, right? How can we bring oxygen from space, or water to drink from space, or food to eat from space, our basic survival things from space? In fact, we are taking our Earth's resources to space. That is, we are finding if there is any possibilities to make human beings live there in space, is what is recently going on the researches and all. So my thought on your question is that the basic resources that human beings need are definitely and only found in earth. I mean, like, every survival basic necessities are found in earth. So I don't think this resources, this all kind of basic survival resources, is also found in space. I don't agree with that.
Okay, so thank you so much, Pavitra. Thank you. And now we can move to our next participant. So we can go with Sakshi.
Good evening, everyone. This is Sakshi from Jeevandeep Public School, Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. Today, I am going to discuss on a topic which is really matter for me. You have to say now that space can be fluctuate, space can be vibrate, space can be quantum. But what the devil is it? Now let's come to the topic. According to me, space exploration is a waste of resources. Instead decreasing the space travel, we must need to lead the problem of the earth first. Why bother spending these monies on space travel when we could help our planet to be developed? According to me, space travel considered as a totally waste of time, money and effort because it is better way to managing our money and effort to develop our country. We are seeing many climatic changes in our environment like famine, drought and warfare, and we spend our money on developing space exploration. This is totally a waste of time and money. Our Earth environment is running out with our resources because of human beings uses too much natural resources. This is a very negative impact on Earth. According to me, the negative impact of space exploration is that when our world is becoming an overpopulated, then may not be able to afford a space exploration. So we need to invest our money to produce more food and to create more jobs. As we all know, rockets are not environmentally friendly. They, when we launch a rocket, they, the rocket engines the rocket engines release some track gases which lead to the ozone depletion, really bad for our environment. And space exploration is also for some health hazards like brain disease, immune system. As we all know, when astronauts traveling in the space, they face some light gravity and ultra gravity field, which cause some blood pressure and weakening immune system disease. And in the last half century, there are 30 astronauts who died while traveling in dangerous space missions. And I've also known that two two dangerous space accidents that the NASA will suffer from that. NASA space shuttle that on 28 January 1986 the Challenger space shuttle of NASA throwing a missile that the Challenger space shuttle of NASA launching a missile which is taking off of 73 seconds and totally lost, and this owing to a failure on a Chilean ship. And this leads to a seven members to die of this team. And in 2003, Kalpana Chawla is one of the crew members of the mission, and she also died in the mission of Space Shuttle Columbia disaster. I only want to say that if you put your money on space exploration, is a waste of money. You have to put your money on the hand of climatologists. You have to put your money on the hand of climatologists because it will bring a benefit for mankind. I didn't say that space exploration is a bad time, but I just think that it is waste of time. Give all the waste of money and just think about the mother. Thank you.
Thank you, Sakshi. Thank you so much. And now I would like to open the floor for interjection. So I can see Yogita. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, Sakshi. Actually, my question to you is that you said that it is expensive. Space exploration is expensive. So, if space exploration is expensive for you, that night you are knowing that every country is contributing to the space exploration only 0.1% of its GDP. And if you are ready to produce those Hollywood movies and Bollywood movies, then why aren't you, which are just for your fun? And why aren't you agreeing to do something which is very much beneficial for you also and for the whole mankind?
Okay, thanks for the question. I have said that space exploration is a waste of money, but I didn't say that I promote all these funny activities. I have said that we have to save our environment, and space exploration can cause global warming and many natural problems, and this cause many diseases. And our astronauts also face many health issues. That's why I'm saying that it is a waste of time and money because we are investing our money and then it also face some problem related to humanity. That's why I'm saying it is a waste of.
Okay, so thank you so much, Sakshi. Next, we can move to our next participant, Yashvi Singh.
Yes. Good evening to one and all present here. It's Yashvi Singh from our Lady of Pilar Convent School, Jodhpur. I'll be speaking for the motion. So knowledge has no foundations. A person can seek as much as he wants. I absolutely agree with this. But on what cost? Everything has its own cost. The resources and the funds that we are using to explore the space must first of all be utilized for the development of our own earth. We are facing a lot of problems on the earth, including the natural calamities like earthquakes, floods, droughts, in fact, the pollutions, malnutritions, and whatnot. As per the reports, approximately 15 million people die due to hunger-related issues annually. That is, if we calculate, 40,000 people are dying per day. What's the reason? Because they are not getting food and water. As per the resources, 8,29,000 people are dying due to diarrhea as a result of unsafe drinking water, poor sanitation facilities, and due to improper hygienic conditions provided to them to live in. And when it comes to the medical field, we can take the recent example of our coronavirus. The people died since they were not getting proper treatment and medications due to so many reasons. And I think if they could have got them all, the number of deaths would have reduced to a very large number. Ignoring all these things, we are exploring space, which in my opinion is not suitable for us this time. And after that, if I have to speak for more necessities provided to the people on our own earth, the basic facilities should be provided to them instead exploring the space. And added to this, nature is a beautiful creation of God. The presence of a human is nothing else than the nuisance in this beautiful creation. The number of satellites that have been sent in the space there, they have created a space junk over there, which could be proven so very dangerous for the future generations to come on. It may render our access in the future in the space. So in my opinion, the resources which we are wasting to explore the earth for future are just destroying our presence. Added to this, if I have to speak something about the safety of the earth, so yes, I agree that probably 500 meteors hit the earth every day. But out of those, only 10 are recovered. Since all the other meteors, they fell in oceanic areas and remote areas which are not accessible by human beings. And as the studies have seen, approximately 91 people died due to meteors. But when we throw a light on natural calamities, this round-up figure is about 60,000 annually. When we talk about malnutrition, 40,000 people are dying per day. When we talk about poor hygienic condition, 8,29,000 people are dying per day. So I think all the resources must first of all be used to provide them the basic necessities instead of finding water and moon and exploring Mars. That's it, ma'am. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Yashvi. And I would like to open the floor for interjection. So we can, just let me see. We can go with, okay, Pavitra.
Hello, Yashvi. Actually, you told us that these resources are very scarce. For space exploration, it consumes so much of resources. Do you think that if we stop or reduce space exploration activities, will it safeguard our resources, or will it just stop the resources from becoming scarce?
See, I can't say 100% guarantees there that what I'm saying will be absolutely correct. But yes, we can try. In my opinion, in fact, if we save a quite amount of resources which are sent in space, we can have many things good over here. There could be proper provision of medication, treatment, people, the lives of the people could be saved even better. So yes, I think obviously that would be.
Okay, so thank you so much, Yashvi. Then we can move to our next participant, Vishal. So, Vishal, can we go with you? So, do we have Vishal over here? Vadla, Vishal, do we have you in the house? Okay, I suppose he's not there. Okay. So now we can move to the next category, like seeing the grass on the other hand. So now we can start with against the motion category. So is space exploration a waste of resources? Okay, so the first participant we have with us is Chandan Singh. Yes, Chandan, please go ahead. So do we have Chandan?
Yes, ma'am. Just a second. Actually, there's some network glitch on his end. So he'll be using my laptop, I guess. Please give us 2 minutes.
Okay, so we'll do one thing. We'll move to the other participant and we'll get back to Chandan, okay? So next we can have Yogita. So
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Go ahead.
The cosmos is within us. We are made up of star stuff. We are a way for the universe to find its own self. My friends are considering the space research to be so-called wreckage of the resources. But wouldn't it be limit to the human resources? But wouldn't it be limit to the human spirit to confine our attention to the terrestrial matters? Aren't we rationalizing the use of the resources which we give to in space explorations gives us a peerless as well as takes it to what it takes. On seeing APJ Abdul Kalam, Neil Armstrong, a generation of scientists was inspired, and those who went on to fabricate the Curiosity rover are right now roaming on Mars, Venus, Moon, and having so many discoveries, and they are carrying more and more. According to Thornby, and of course my fellow opponents, what I would guess is they consider that going to space or doing space research is just like building a Louis XVI palace at Versailles. And we all know that that was totally destroyed, comparing it again to a heaven. But let me tell you that space exploration is not like that. It helps you in every possible way it could. The space exploration directly or indirectly affects every individual on the Earth's surface. The technology, the humanity, it helps in each and everything. It helps in science and technology, engineering, and the discoveries and innovations those we are doing with the help of those are helping eventually to the civilian only of the world. NASA every year publishes a spin-off in which it catalogs projects, which includes about nearly 1800 projects. Can you remember just 1800 or approx 1800 projects in just a 1 year? It's a really a great achievement. And do you know that why these satellites are sent to the Earth and above the Earth's surface and in the space also to the other planets? It's just only because of few reasons. It's because of telecommunication, weather forecasting, meteorology, cartography, and many more that we are getting through the space research only. Space research is not only for ratifying a tilak on the forehead of the country. It have more things and much more to discover and much more to find out. It's also finding a substitute for the Earth, because we all know that Stephen Hawking gave a stark warning to the humans that one day this Earth will going to be extinct, and to save that human existence, we have to look for a substitute, and that's why the Mars is seen, which is having 38% of the gravity that which is Earth possessing. Remember that space is for everybody. It's not just for a few group of astronauts. It's for everyone. Remember that my fellow opponents, you all are raising only one major concern for of mankind. And if you want to save humanity as well as mankind, it's only because when the space exploration will proceed itself, then only the humanity will be safe. And my fellow opponents, what they are doing is they are dooming humanity rather than leaping forth for the mankind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yogita. Thank you so much. And so I would like to open the floor for interjection. So who wants to interject? Okay, Apurva, go ahead.
Thank you so much for the recognition. Well, my question to Yogita would be, she talked about how space is open for all, and if it is explored, then it's not just the astronauts who are benefited, but all the people are. Well, ma'am, I just want you to consider something and then reply to me. The fact that right now there's a mission, the SpaceX, that gets people on that's the only all civilians mission to get people on the space. And for that, individual needs to pay $52 million. So at this point of time, do you think in a population like this and in a world where there are so many countries underdeveloped, are we actually heading towards a world where space will be open to everyone irrespective of where they lie in the society and how rich or poor they are?
So yes, Yogita.
So thank you, Apurva, for your question. I would just like to say you one thing, that you are connecting my words to the expensiveness of the space exploration only. Am I right? Ma'am, she can speak, yes or no, please?
Yes, she can.
Well, I thought that contributes to cross questioning.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I must go ahead.
Yes.
So if since we all know that we are spending monies on elections, on movies production, and so many other things, and those contributes much more amount, and as compared to this SpaceX project, Elon Musk has designed such thrusters which are reusable and which doesn't cause much destruction. As you said that fossil fuels are used in it, as many of my opponents have said this thing. But the main thing I would like to say you, it's hydrogen gas based, which does not produce much fumes. And helps to our world only, therefore not depleting ozone layer. As well as your expensiveness purpose is just because of the SpaceX mission, which is taking $18 million and more than that for the people who want to travel to the moon. It's just because that people want to fascinate themselves through the other things in the world, which is present, which is of the world also. So if those people are getting benefited to do that thing, then why can't we provide them such a stage to do that? So
Okay, thank you so much, Yogita. Then can we go with Chandan? Do we have Chandan back?
Yes, ma'am, sure. I'm really sorry for what happened
No
earlier.
worries,
I
no
don't know
worries.
what.
Go ahead, no worries.
The day we stop exploring is the day we commit ourselves to live in a stagnant world, devoid of curiosity and empty of dreams. Greetings to the house at large. The quote by Neil deGrasse Tyson is so much suited for the topic today. Space exploration is one of the most important things happening to humanity. And if there is something called boons, then why is space exploration not one? It has helped us in so many ways, from connecting us from people all around the world, or maybe our relatives living in the next city. Or we can just say that we want to know what will the weather next day be, and so we need to see the weather. This is what all space has given us, is it? No. The space has given us so much which we have closed our eyes to. We people can go into the space for biomedical research, which is so helpful to us. The biomedical research can be performed in space so that we are helped with what we don't know and what we think can be harmful on Earth. We are using our phones today, or even if we are connecting on this meeting today, is because of one of those satellites in the space orbits. Come on, guys. And we are all of us here talking about water and food. Water problems, the drinking water problems are because two countries have their own disputes, or maybe two states in one nation. But those problems cannot be solved by scientists who make spacecrafts to go into the space. And even if an asteroid comes falling one day on Earth, and while we are having our avocado toast, then I don't think it will really be a nice day for us. Hence, we are finding new missions and we are going to Mars so that we can have a civilization there and stay there. Currently, we are investing so much money in Hollywood, Bollywood, and film industry. But is that useful? Like a bit also. Like we are using it for entertainment. Yes, entertainment is important. But the amount of money that we are spending on it, the amount of money that is used on animation movies, it is a lot. I don't think that really helps us. And Mars mission is helping us do so many things. Okay, leave Mars mission alone. How is it helping us in the health problems? We are connected in different parts of the world because can talk about our health problems. Even during the coronavirus, there are live updates of what is happening, and the scientists, I'm really sorry, the doctors can connect to each other. That is only because of the satellites. So I really think that space exploration is really helpful, and I don't really think that we should in any way criticize it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandan. Thank you so much. Now I would like to open the floor for interjection. So we can go. Let me see. Sneha. Sneha Shukla.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving the opportunity. As my worthy opponent said, that the mobile we are using is just because of the satellites. Yes, I agree to this point that all the digital appliances which we are using is only because of the satellites. But satellite is just for commercial use only. Once it after its use, it gets destroyed. It has been destroyed. But what about the money which is spent on the missions on Mars and finding water on the moon? It is not benefiting in the present scenario. This money could be be used for solving the present problems which are going on the earth.
Ma'am, I would really like to know what exactly do you want me to answer, if the moderator allows.
Okay. Yes.
Ma'am, I want to ask only this, that he was stressing on the point only of the satellites.
Okay.
Yes, satellite is okay. It helps in all the GPS and all the digital appliances. But as he said that space exploration is very good. But what about the billions and millions of dollars which are spent on the missions which are going on Mars and on other planets also? How is it?
So basically, she's saying space exploration, like wastage of money. She's talking about.
Yes.
Ma'am, really, so yes, ma'am. Coming to how Mars helps us, coming straight to the topic, Mars explorations, as I mentioned earlier, that we are having our avocado toast or whatever we are having at our homes, and one asteroid comes falling on Earth, and we actually need one other civilization on other nation. And I don't think that will happen in a day. So we want to go gradually towards what we want, and hence we are doing the Mars mission so that we could easily reach what we want in a future when an asteroid comes falling. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much. Now we can move to the next participant, Vratika. Yes, go ahead, please.
A very good evening to the jury members and all my body of you. Yes, I totally agree with the point that space exploration is not a waste of resources. Modern humanity aims to explore everything that surrounds us. And with the latest technologies and discoveries by the scientists, helps us and provides us great opportunities to discover the boundless space. The projects in this area has already provided us with valuable insights of humanity. The challenges of overpopulation and other problems are the most basic and important reasons why scientists need to find an answer in the space for. Searching for another place which is suitable for human life and have abundant of essential resources is what the modern science is dealing with. If we can explore resources and harness what it has to offer and develop new technologies in the process, then we would be contributing rather than wasting resources. Naming such important researches as which are for the betterment of our future generation as waste of resources is something that I wouldn't agree with. The researches, analysis, and explorations, they are the need of our future. It would help us to find a new place where we can go in time to save us from future calamities. Space research is a necessity to address the fundamental question of planet existence and universe. But after interrogating the galaxy, it allows us to discover new findings of potential dangers that are beyond our planet. And it also opens the endless possibilities to learn about the territories that are habitable for us. On the other hand, it is also important that we plan to research on planets and universe. Imagine if we hadn't researched on space, we wouldn't be able to know about the ozone depletion or about the annual rise of Earth's temperature. By investing in this field of science, for example, the satellites, they provide us with reliable data and helps us and leads us to a better understanding of the present ultimate issues of our planet Earth. There are many countries which have sent missions in the space, which have provided us with such a valuable information and the possibility of life on other planets, and answered several unanswered questions. For example, Chandrayaan. It has provided us with valuable information and some crucial information about the presence of water on the surface of Moon. Not only Chandrayaan, even the Mars orbit mission or the Astropath, which is still ongoing, may provide us with some crucial information in the future. My point here is there are many people who think that space exploration is something worthless or it is a waste of effort, money, and time. I do agree with the fact that education, human needs, poverty are important aspects and important aspects. But we also need to understand that according to our present needs and the future one too, space exploration is also equally important. Let us just say that it is the money you're saving for future. You don't know how and when you may need it, but you still save it for, for your precaution. I just want to conclude it by saying that universe discovery may cost efforts and money, but it is worth it. Thank you.
Thank you, Pratika. Thank you so much. So now I would like to open the floor for interjection, and let me see who wants to interject. Yes, Lahari, please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity, ma'am. You told that space exploration is really good, but many people are dying because of poverty, and many people are in the famine. And all the people are making billions of money in space exploration itself, but no one are taking caring of these poor people who are in the poverty. What do you say about that?
Thank you for your question. I did said in my speech that these are important aspects and are really needed to be cared about. But I also said that space exploration is equally important according to the present scenario and the future one too. And about the things that you said, that poverty and the other things you said, it is not only the problem of this authority that takes care of space research and all that. It is a problem of the whole humankind. We all need to work together for that. Not the space authorities are working for the future problems, and we all need to work together on the problems that we are having, like the poverty you asked. You told the point. We all need to work together for that. And space, about this thing I said, that space exploration is something that for the future needs, we are preparing already for that. Okay, I hope that I answered your question, and thanks for the question.
Thank you so much. And then we can move to Madhuvanti. Yes, Madhuvanti, can we go with you? So, do we have Madhuvanti in the house? She is not there. I suppose she got disconnected. No worries. So we can move to Sandhya. Sandhya?
Am I audible?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes. My name is Sandhya Kumari, studying in 12th standard from Ganchior Matric Higher Secondary School, representing Tamil Nadu. I am here with some of the allegation or some of the arguments against this space exploration. Here, first point is that why do we spend much amount on space exploration? Why can't we spend it on the resources or for the economy, for the people who work tirelessly, and for the infrastructure development, for the labor who work for our country? So, for example, India had invested rupees 307 crores, more than 307 crores for Chandrayaan 2, but uh, but later it was a failure due to some technical problems. So I'm not giving questions on that which have been successful. It's successful, but some of the times we get failure also. So the amount we have invested, it should be get fulfilled, not to be just wasted. So why the technical problems not to be cleared at the first time? Why it came? So uh, uh, investing that much amount on that, we can just take the amount and invest to the people who worked, who constructed our infrastructure of India. But we can see that we saw a picture in social media that in one side uh, the persons who were traveling from out of the India and coming to India, but the people who went for their own purpose uh, to for that purpose to earn money, they went out of the India. And on one more picture where labor are walking on the roads, there were no transport system, so who built our infrastructure, why can't we spend money on them? Why are we just giving importance to who have money and who is not? Who have done the great job, who had constructed the infrastructure of India. So I just want that the money which should not be wasted and the technical problems not should become, and the money should be invested for them. And secondly, the resources. The main resources that they use for transportation is they use hydrogen, oxygen, water, propellant, etc. But these resources are non-renewable resources. They can't be produced in one single day. So why to waste these many resources which cannot be get in one day? It takes many years, several years to produce. So these resources should. I'm not saying only for space travel. Even in the common place or even in the common world, the human beings just used to waste the resources. They just think we are the last person. No, we are not the end of this future. There are many generations who are coming after this. So we have to save the resources, not to just use it, and we should conserve it and to give it to our future generation. And third point, that they are finding the water or oxygen in Mars, but the God had gifted for us the planet, the Earth, which consists of water, air, oxygen. So why do we are searching these basic needs on another planet that we God had gifted in us in the same planet? So conserve it, not to waste it. Um, we just don't want to waste it. So I'm ending my speech here. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandhya. Thank you so much. So now I would like to open the floor for interjection. So let me see who wants to interject. Okay, we can go with Apurva.
Thank you so much again for the recognition. Well, my question to Sandhya would be the fact that you talked about that how we're talking about money at this point of time for space exploration. So that's just a reminder. It took $5.5 billion for Jeff Bezos to take a 4-minute space tour. So that is just one concern. That is space exploration and money are like just directly proportional. My question to you is, don't you think there was a sense of contradiction that you have portrayed in your own speech by speaking of the fact that there are just a lot of resources on the earth itself and that we're using those resources, then why are we searching for them in other planets or in the space? So isn't there a contradiction? How would you justify that?
Yes,
Thank
Sandhya.
you for the question. Yes, ma'am. The question which was raised by her is, I just want to clear it out that the resources we have already in Earth, then why we just waste our money just taking of photos? We go for space that we for space travel. Even the satellite that goes just took the picture and sent it to our Earth. So why we are wasting just for that and having oxygen levels they are checking and that, but the Earth is already filled with all resources. So I just wanted to tell this, just use the resources which are already plenty with us, not to just search for another planet, not to just waste the money and for another planet, because God has gifted everything for us in the planet we live. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandhya. Thank you so much. Now we can move to the next participant.
I have a concern, ma'am. I just wanted to confirm this is the point that these are the participants who will be speaking against the motion, right? That's space exploration.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay, now we can move to Rahul.
Good afternoon, jury members, moderator ma'am, and my honorable opponents. I am Rahul Singh from Jeevandeep Public School, is present here to debate on the topic, is space exploration waste of resources? Well, I am against the motion. Exploring new things, it isn't waste. We are just knowing the surroundings and we are reading and hoping for the possibilities that we may find more resources just we are paying the resources. Means as many are saying that we are wasting much money, this much money on just having a hope. But what if we actually find that we have more resources on Mars than Earth? If we could bring them to Earth or either shift from Earth to Mars, we would have a better life also for ourselves and our next generations. As Stephen Hawking has said that theory of multiverse, that in our universe we have many galaxies, and that galaxies may have planets. And if we means I'm not talking about that furthermost that we went to galaxies and galaxies, we can roam around in solar system and find for more resources than our planet Earth. I just want to say that uh, uh, exploring space doesn't mean that we are wasting. We are just finding an alternate that if our resources on Earth get scarce or finished, then how we would have a different source or thing that we can survive and sustain our life for ourselves and our generations. Also, I would like to remind my opponents that we if we don't do it right now, in maybe in future it may happen that our resources get finished, used up and consumed, and we don't have that much resource left to find other resources or on other planets. I'm just giving a possibility that it may happen in future. We say that a stitch in time can save nine. We have the moment right now to search because we have resources. It may be that we can find an alternate way that we can reduce our consumption or the amount of resources we are using to find it. As we can say that our country Israel has the cheapest cost for space exploration, which has brought a great achievement for India. I would conclude by saying that space exploration opens a very large path for mankind to sustain their lives in the universe. Means we can't get extinct this way. It just brings the lightens up our lives for the possibilities that we can live longer. Thank you.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you so much. Now, I'm just opening the floor for interjection. So, Sakshi, go ahead.
My question is that space exploration is beneficial for future generations. But as you know that space exploration causes ozone depletion and it creates resources depletion. So how can you say that it helps the future generation?
Yes,
Isn't
Rahul.
it that, ma'am? I would like to explain.
Yes.
Isn't it that without having space exploration, the cause of global warming is still there? It is just that it is bringing one step. It is adding some bit. But what if we find resources? I'm not saying that it does not create pollution, but the amount we are paying and we are expecting is very huge. If just we get paying a small amount, the amount of resources we could find would be a great aid to the achievements and the technology which we are recently using in our India or our world. It would be like we are just paying a $10 money, $10 for expecting. It's just like a gamble, which we have many possibilities of 80 to 90% that we would get the gamble right. It is that we are investment for our future use. I would just conclude that.
Okay,
I hope
thank you, Rahul. Thank you so much.
Ma'am,
And
can I
after you,
interject here?
I'm so
Can I
sorry.
interject here?
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt you. I got a network issue very badly. I've just joined now. Can I talk now, ma'am?
Okay, Madhuvanti, you want to go? Like you want to start?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead. We'll go with you. No
Thank you,
worries.
ma'am. Thank you. Dear all, good evening. This is Madhuvanti of Class 12. I'm here to say, is the space exploration a waste of resource? Which I think it's not. Space exploration is described as the term which is searching of outer space. It has brought us insight into the phenomena like gravity, fluid dynamics, geological evolution of the other planets. And we, as humans, we have been venturing into the space since October 4, 1957, when Russia has launched the Sputnik, the very first artificial satellite into the space orbit. And the money that has been spent on space exploration has been improve the living condition for future generations. And there are a lot of benefits that benefited the entire human race in many ways. And I want to list some of a few things today. And due to space exploration, we can locate the hazards in advance, like asteroids, comets, and etc. It gives us more information about solar system, galaxies, universe, and also we can predict the natural disasters, and we can support the sorry, ma'am.
No worries.
Sorry, just
No
support the
worries.
emergency relief efforts. And also we can determine the weather forecast, which provides the data of climate change and measure pollution, which helps to protect our planet Earth. And last but not the least, the advancement in communication technology. It's the most critical and important contribution of space exploration, without which the entire world would have come to standstill during this current pandemic situation. And the online classes, work at home, everything just depends on the satellites. And without that, we might have not done that. And many of them already we don't have a lot of work. There's a lot of on satellites we have online working, so that even them they didn't lose their job. And I'm open for questions now, but before that I would like you to remember of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, so before questioning anything about against the space exploration. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you so much, Madhavan. Thank you so much. Okay, so now I would like to open the floor for interjection. So let me see. Okay, Rishi, go ahead.
Ma'am, she said that exploring space can help in knowing about the natural disasters in advance. And my question is that what can she tell that exploring space, how it will deal with the global warming situations and natural disasters in advance, deforestations and pollution in oceans, droughts, etc. How exploring space will deal with this all things?
Yes,
Yeah.
Madhavanti.
Thank you for the question. I didn't say that we can actually say that we're going to have a natural disaster, so that we can predict that it's happening. So after that, we can have an awareness, and we can produce a lot of supplies to the particular place, and we can react immediately to the natural disaster. We don't need to delay. We need to get communicated. So as for having a satellite over there, we know there's a natural disaster that has occurred, and we can immediately respond to it. And that's what I said. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
What
you.
about other?
No, just one question. Cross questioning is not allowed. Okay, thank you, Rishi. Thank you. Then we can move to our next participant, Lahari. Please go ahead.
Friends, I believe this is an interesting topic to discuss with. As we all are facing many economic problems, but side by side, we are investing a huge amount of money on space exploration. Anyhow, good evening to all the respected judges, faculty heads, and worthy opponents. I'm Mailaram Lahari from Fathima High School, here to the against the motion. Is space exploration is waste of resources? Yes, space exploration is waste of resources. And instead of using all the resources and instead of decreasing all the resources in space exploration, we should use this all the resources for the future generation. And we should know or deal with the own problems of our earth. And by bothering all the amount on this space exploration, where we can deal up with the problems of our own earth. So we, the people, can live on our earth. And there are many reasons that tell space exploration is very dangerous. And the first thing is space exploration doesn't give us direct benefits and is dangerous as cause of environmental accidents. And the earth is not yet fully explored yet. And why the people are thinking to explore the space first. And the third thing is the achievement is very little comparison to the money and time spent. For example, NASA failed on many of its missions, and NASA scientists had also lost the contact with the latest unmanned spacecraft of the Mars, the $165 million Mars lander. And in September 1999, $125 million Mars climate orbiter was filled. $125 million? Oh God. I really think that we should use this all the money for the human lives of their own country. We all know that many people are dying because of the poverty in every country, but we all are expending this money on the space exploration itself. But why? And there are two major crises of the earth, and these are finishes up the priorities before we start. And the two major crises are, first one is global warming and second one is economic crisis. Economic crisis. If the government don't care of the economic crisis, we the people will end up with the poor. So, in my viewpoint, I'm not telling that space exploration is not at all needed for at all. I'm telling that we should also invest the money on space exploration. We should not invest the money on space exploration only, but we should also take care of the human's life. So the humans will learn how to help each other. If the economic problems will occur in the future also, so the humans can manage it and ends up these economic problems happily. So this is my opinion, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, okay, now.
Ma'am, I have a concern again. Was the participant speaking for the motion or against the motion?
I also has this concern. So, Lahari, you were speaking against the motion, right? Like, is space?
Yes, ma'am. I'm against the motion.
Okay, so it seems like you were speaking for the motion. Like,
so I'm telling that space
I also
exploration
felt the
is a
same, but
negative
I didn't like कि बीच में कोई बोल रहा I should interject, so I just let her speak. Yes, what were you saying?
I'm telling that space exploration is a negative cause, ma'am.
No worries, we can move ahead and then we can move to the interjection part. So, who wants to interject? No one. Yogita.
Thank you for the opportunity, ma'am. Actually, her debate was a little bit contradicting. So, first thing is, she said of global warming. She raised the issue of global warming. But isn't she knowing that APJ Abdul Kalam, when launched Agni, he said that when the Agni will be successful, he will plant 1 lakh trees on the earth and thus helping in the earth forestations also. Therefore, and second thing is Elon Musk has used many of the thrusters and prepared many of other things which are reusable as well as can be reused again and again by this through this in the space researches. Next thing is her concern for humanity. But let me ask you, my friend, if the earth will not exist, then how will you be able to think of humanity? Because the existence of humans is only because of the earth only. And that's the reason why space research is searching for a substitute. Because as per the warning by the scientists that the earth will soon be going to extinct. And if you are thinking of the above upcoming generations, then you must think of the survival also and the existence of the human species on the Earth's surface.
Okay, so yes, what you want to say about it?
Thanks for your question, Yogita. You told about the great Abdul Kalam sir. Yeah, sir had promised at once, but it is not repeating every time when the rockets are launched. So it is very sad for the global warming. And not only global warming is an issue, there are many problems like there is no clean water, no rainforests, etc. There are many problems because of space exploration. And also, I also remember that I'm not telling space exploration is not at all needed. Just I'm telling that it is necessary to we humans should also think about other problems also that are existing on our earth, and we should also think about the problems and another things on the earth.
Okay, thank you so much. So now we can move to our next participant, which is Shivangi Pandey. Yes, Shivangi, can we go with you?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Okay.
Thank you. So, with so much conflict in the world, space exploration can be a beacon of hope. People usually say, as my worthy opponent said, that space exploration is a waste of resources. Well, I think that no, it's not a waste of resources, as not only it serves to give humanity a vision, but to make us take note of just how incredibly far we have came and how far we still have to go. And yes, of course, people will argue that we have our own priorities first. And I recognize and understand the importance of all these issues. Yet, I still want space exploration to continue, as it cannot be seen as a waste of resources or waste of money, as it is at least a means of testing and refining new technologies that, in fact, provides us with the resources which we need to improve our lives and those of our future generations. And more importantly than this, though, is that space exploration inspires us. As the International Space Station orbits above us, we are reminded that when collectively we work together, there is very little we cannot do. And the symbolism is just priceless. We cannot compare scientific knowledge, we cannot compare science or space exploration through that of cost, as it is beyond the cost. So what I meant to say, and more importantly, see, our universe is very vast and complex. Right. Our universe is very vast and complex, which is why space exploration is such an effective means of inspiring our future generations to contribute to human understanding and development. And how can we forget that we have developed phenomenal things through space exploration only? For example, we came to know about our own planet, our solar system. More importantly, we have made satellites. And with the help of satellites, we have a strong defense system. As with the help of satellites, we get better at our defense, and by strengthening defense, we avoid the wars. As a result, when we avoid the wars, we save human life as well as money as a great extent. And the biggest thing is that it also helps us in weather forecasting, as many of my friends said that it helps in weather forecasting also. Now, I want to say that we often think about, to develop new technologies to explore our space, and that's really the other way of the other way around our efforts beyond the earth that we are able that helped us to develop the technologies such as the adult diapers to that of our cell phones. And I truly believe that they will help us to become a sustainable civilization also. Our universe is very rich in resources, and we cannot even imagine how beneficial is it for us when a scientist develop anything. As we are directly or indirectly, we are dependent on science. We are dependent on scientists, their inventions, their technologies. And our outer space research would help us to find the metal, the resources that does not exist on Earth, but needed to survival, needed for our survival. So overall, what I want to say is that space exploration is not at all a waste of money if we see it in a long-term aspect. And comparing space program with our major issues, I don't think that it is at all a progressive thought. We need technological research and progress for overall development of our nation, and it is definitely required. So this is all I wanted to say, that space exploration, I think that it is not a waste of resources. Thank you so much.
Okay, Shivangi, thank you so much. Now I would like to open the floor for interjection. So we can go with Pavitra.
Yeah, Shivangi, actually, you told us that space exploration is not a waste of resources. It is considered to be like testing for a better tomorrow, is what you said, right? Actually, SpaceX has failed 4 times for attempting to launch its rocket, and NASA has immensely failed many times. ISRO too has failed many times. Isn't this a wastage of resources? Like, we don't have any assurance that if our mission with the rocket or satellites will be positively done. So, isn't this considered to be a wastage of resources?
Okay, Pavitra, thank you for your question. So I think you have been heard about that. The more we try, the more we get better at something. So I think that no, it is not a waste of resources. We have. It is true that we fail sometimes, but we have tried also. Uh, we uh, we are the time we have failed. NASA, ISRO, they have failed many times. I truly believe that, but they are trying it again and again, which inspires our future generation, which motivates us somewhere. And I don't think it's a waste of resources, because the money, the resources which we invest in science, which we invest in space exploration, somewhere it came back to us again in a long term aspect. Not that day only, not a particular day, but one day it comes to us. So I think I'll.
Okay, thank you so much. Now we can move to our next participant, Anushka. So, Anushka, do we have you?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Okay, please go ahead.
Equipped with his 5 senses, it is the natural tendency of humans to explore his surroundings, and we call this adventurous journey science. Hearty greetings to one and all present here. The motion for this house is space exploration a wastage of resources? And I am in its opposition. I feel it is more important than ever to reintroduce a sense of physical exploration, to get out there into the strange environment of the outer space for the betterment of mankind. Some say that we are in the deepest economic crisis since the worldwide economic depression of the 1930s. And in a time of collapsing national economies, investment in a space is a bad use of resources. I would like to bring into their notice that the most successful response to this depression of the 20th century was to pump money into infrastructure, science, and technology. It was called the Roosevelt's New Deal. Quite controversial at that time, but by the end of the decade, it made USA the leading power. Economically, it would be great if the government invests the money in this field, in the space exploration, in creating jobs and new technology. Usually, civilian products for the same space applications are also created by space exploration. I feel all of us are aware of Google Maps, which was created through satellites and space exploration. There are endless possibilities in this field, ranging from solar energy farms to revolutionary and cheap intercontinental transportation. Scientists are working on a solar farm capable of harvesting solar winds, which will serve as an ultimate source of energy. This is possible by further development in the sphere of space exploration. Space exploration gave impetus to projects that have been useful as well as providing useful scientific knowledge. For example, the laser targeting of mirrors left on the moon by Apollo astronauts helps test and understand basic physics, which in turn leads to advances in concepts such as electronics, hyperconductivity, etc. And of course, these concepts are really very earthly. Even plastic was invented by material engineers working on a space program. and this plastic has become an integral part of our daily life. Many discoveries and products have been made from the knowledge gained from space exploration. Some of these are so common that we don't even notice their presence and significance, like Velcro or non-stick pans. Thus, science and space exploration has made our everyday life really very convenient, and hence it is not a waste of resources. With this, I rest my case here. Thank you.
Thank you, Anushka. Thank you so much. With this, I would like to open the floor for interjection. So, just a second. Let me see. We have Sneha. Go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. As my worthy opponent said that we are using plastic in our daily life, but plastic is also causing a lot of environmental pollutions also. So how is it beneficial for us? Even the government is also emphasizing on the fact to ban the plastics. So how it is beneficial for us? It is rather polluting the environment.
Thank you for the question. I would like to respond that plastic, I accept that plastic is causing pollution, but here we need to come up with a concrete solution. Here we don't have any alternative for plastic because of its durability, its tensile strength. It's an example of a day-to-day life. How muchever heavy item we place in a plastic bag, does it tear very easily? It has commendable tensile strength, commendable durability, and of course, it's reliable. Now, if we come to the pollution caused by plastic, we need to come up with recycling centers, more recycling centers, and we need to reuse it. Instead of buying plastics again and again, we can reuse those same plastic bags. Yes, I accept that government was emphasizing on ban of plastics, but in the initial stages, it was really very fast kind of. But now even government is not paying much emphasis on the ban of plastics because we are aware of the fact that we don't have a suitable alternative for plastic. And as soon as we come up with a better alternative, we'll sure be switching to that alternative. I hope I answered your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Anushka. Next up we have is Isha. So go ahead, Isha.
Good evening, everybody. This is Isha from St. Xavier School, Jagdishpur, and I'm here to express my views against the motion. So instead of introducing you all with some boring stuff from internet, I would like to begin with a very popular saying. To gain something, something must be lost. Well, in case of space exploration, this is not the case. Since what we gain from space exploration is much more what we lost. So I would like to say that space is endless and there is endless possibilities if we explore it. So space exploration is not actually a waste of resources. Now, I would like to come up with a question. What is a waste? The topic is space exploration a waste of resources? So what is a waste? Waste is something which we lose and we don't get any advantages out of it. So is it true with the space exploration? Do we don't get any advantages out of it? Well, in my opinion, it is not like that. I have a long list of advantages of space exploration. Well, here I would like to introduce a few. Space exploration gave us GPS, the satellites for communication, and the weather forecasting satellites, which are helping us in day-to-day life. Apart from that, space exploration gave us many objects that are used in our day-to-day life, like shock absorbers for buildings, firefighting equipment, and much more. Addition to this, space exploration opens the wide opportunities for finding new sources of raw materials in the outer space, which would be very costly. Now, I would like to bring you to the investment what we do in space exploration. So the annual budget of NASA is 22.6 billion US dollar, which is only 0.48% of the total budget. So I don't think so. The cost is much more than what we get from it. The cost is not that much to worry about, as everyone is saying. Now I would like to conclude with a very important argument that humans have a curious nature. They need to explore to know what is unknown. And resources and knowledge can't be just compared. Since resources can be expended on by one way or other and they can be exhausted, but the knowledge and the experience which we gain from the space exploration is everlasting and can be used in many ways for future developments and discoveries. With this I conclude my speech. Thank you everyone.
Thank you so much, Isha. Thank you so much. So now I would like to open the floor for interjection. So, Sneha, you want to interject? Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. I want to ask that, ma'am, like time is gold. Like we are telling, if we invest more, we are wasting time to investing that in space, ma'am. Instead of investing in space, we can make our country develop. We are in underdeveloped. Why can't we use that money for the party people to overcome our poor condition, and why can't we develop our country, ma'am? Instead of using investing money in space.
Yes, Isha.
So don't you think that space exploration is an excellent way to develop? Don't we develop by space exploration? Is it not the excellent way to develop in technology? Space exploration is an endless process and it has a very effective way to develop. So I think development can be conquered by space exploration and finding new things which are unknown to us first. So I think that answers the question. Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
so thank you so much. So after this, we come to the end of this discussion. So yes, thanks to all the participants. Everyone did a great job, and yes, now we can move to our lovely jury members. So Balraj sir and Deepak sir, some words from you. Balraj sir, आप mute पे हो.
Yes, I can hear you now, and it was a lovely experience, and the way the children spoke out, and they were so enthusiastic, knowledgeable, prepared, and I really loved the way our young children, they are speaking these days, and they're ideating whatever they feel, they're expressing it out, and it's so encouraging. And I wish them all the best in their lives. And this is how the country would go ahead when our children are doing so well. And I've got no words to express, and I'm so happy that our children are so expressive. They're preparing, they're well prepared, and at the same time, the enthusiasm that they're showing, I really want that you all keep up with this spirit throughout your life and take the country ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Balraj sir. Thank you so much. Now we would love to have Deepak sir. So, Deepak sir, do we have you here? Sir, आप mute पे हो?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
I'm happy to attend this debate on a very specific topic. Really, the space exploration a waste or a resource. And I learned a number of new things. Marvelous kids, you deserve a big hats off. Really, you people prepared a lot, and the data you provided was very good. And most important, 2-3 girls like Apurva, Sneha, Shukla, Pavitra, and similarly there's Rahul and Chandan and Anushka really impressed me a lot. And these girls have provided the correct data and view also. Thanks a lot for organizing such a debate in between the students. I really love it, and I will, inspired from this debate competition, I will be using it in my school also. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much, Deepak sir. Thank you so much, Balraj sir. It was pleasure having you. Thank you so much. It was pleasure having both of you as the jury members. And yes, thanks to all the participants for sharing your viewpoints on this beautiful topic. And yes, how can I forget to thank the lovely audience who have joined us for this lovely evening. So thanks to everyone. All the best for your future. And yes, a gentle reminder to all the audience who are watching us. So just keep voting. Just keep voting. Just keep supporting. to make your favorite participant win. And yes, please just hit on that bell icon to subscribe the channel to get updates of such interesting sessions. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.